Guys, it's Orsi, and today I would like to show you a camel compass pose. This is just some instruction and just some tip how to achieve this asana, but if you would like to, I can also create a follow along routine. So let's see how does it look like. So if you would like to lift your left leg, then you will have the right hand next to your right leg. You take the left, you press the pelvis forward, and you elongate it. Your chest will naturally turn a little bit sideways, but you try to not let into so much to this. And then you will lower back to the position. Option would be to modify this, is ones that actually you don't extend it at all. You just go for it like that. Option 2 would be that you start extending, but you don't go for the full expression of the asana, and you just somewhere stop in the middle and you work toward the full expression of the asana. So what you need for this, for sure, you need a massive camel pose. So if you cannot do camel pose, that's a must to have it. It looks like this. I think you maybe know the full alignment of this asana is always start from your chest. You need to push your chest forward, and you need to think on also elongating the hip flexors. The head can follow the movement, or you can just leave it here if you are feeling that the neck is tensed by letting it go. So you must have the camel pose, the Ustrasana. It's also a good idea to work on your Heron pose, maybe with a modification. So the full Heron pose would look like this. So you're bending one leg, letting it point behind. You open your chest and you are stretching your hamstring. But for most people, this is not accessible. You could work on a modified Heron. Just elongate your other leg, open the chest, and stretch the hamstring here. If this is still too much, then you need to start working in a kind of bend and stretch routine, like that. Stretch with the exhale, inhale and bend. And for sure, you need to do that in the other side as well. Any kind of forward fold is actually beneficial for stretching your hamstring, but if you don't want to mix forward fold and back bend one after the other, it could be a nice option to work in the different variations of side stretch, which is also lengthening your shoulders and your hamstring, because you also need some shoulder range for this. And you could also work in your Upavista Konasana, or as they call it in Pilates, the open leg rocker. All this is just to develop the sufficient flexibility in your hamstring and in your camel pose. And if you're having the actual split pose, that also does help. Because at the end of the day, this is a kind of a camel split pose. So you need your hip flexors and your hamstring equally to be flexible. So adding into your routine the regular split routine, which is mainly hip flexor stretch in a low lunge, knee in line with ankle, knee in line with hip, and letting this hinge to happen with contracted glutes, stretching the hip flexors, modifying it in a way also that you bring the heel toward your sit bone, and the hamstring stretch. So you are working on achieving the splits. So this is kind of like a very basic split routine, but the good news is that if you have a split, that helps. But if you don't have a split, you're just going to have a soft bend in the asana, or you will just use the loop or the yoga belt. So let's recap this. Work on your camel pose. Work on the flexibility of your hamstring. Always with each back bend, work on the flexibility of the hip flexor, because as you push your hip forward, you will really need it. Work on your Upavista Konasana, so it's the rocker when you open the legs to the side. Work on it maybe also side to side, and work on your hamstring flexibility, mainly with the Heron pose. And with each forward fold, actually, you can rework the flexibility of your hamstring. So these are my tips how to achieve the pose, and I will create you a follow along video as well. So keep checking my channel. Have a lovely day and see you soon. Bye.